Hey everybody, it's Henry here for Ears for Everyone, and today we're going to talk about some cool gear for you hot heroes heading to Disney World this summer. This is stuff that I've personally tested over several of the days here in June where it's reached a heat index of 100 degrees. And I really just want to share with you what worked for me and what didn't, and kind of make some personal recommendations at the end of it. Your mileage may vary. Maybe some of the stuff that didn't work as well for me might work for you. So I just kind of want to introduce you to some of the stuff. So without further ado, let's start with hats. The ideal hat, I think, honestly, is something like this straw hat. It's wide brimmed. It's definitely good for people who have fair skin, or if you're going to a low shade park, somewhere like Epcot or Animal Kingdom. It's really good. Shades the entirety of your face and your neck. May look a little dorky. Definitely have to take it off on rides, otherwise it's going to fly off. This one actually flew off on Pirates of the Caribbean. Someone grabbed it, luckily for me. You still should use sunscreen even if you're wearing this kind of hat, but it definitely makes it a little bit cooler. You can get this kind of hat. I got this at a local surf shop here on the Space Coast for about $25 for a different purpose, but I saw hats similar to it. Some of them are more cloth than straw. You can get it at Walmart for about $10, and I'm sure CVS probably somewhere in between those two, probably around $20. So if you're looking for some place to get a wider brimmed hat, there are lots around Florida. Just it depends on what you're willing to pay. You can also rock a ball cap. My personal approach is if I'm going somewhere like the Magic Kingdom, or I know I'm going to be doing a lot of indoor rides, I'll wear a ball cap instead of the big straw hat. It's a little bit less cumbersome, easier to tuck under my leg whenever I'm riding fast rides. And I personally like ball caps that have the mesh on them. It's hot in Florida. Anything that traps heat on the top of your head is going to make it a little harder for you. So I really like the mesh ball caps. This is one that I actually got at the Disney park right outside of Century Terrace, where because I love Orangeburg and I really, really like Orange Swirl. So something like this would be pretty cool. You can obviously get them in the parks, or you can get them outside of the parks. Again, you're planning for a vacation, so might as well buy what you can that you know you're going to need at the park before you go. I don't even remember how much this was. It was probably like most hats, around $20 at the park. So that's about it for hats. If you like them, wear them. I'm going to take mine off for now. And the next thing we're going to talk about are these Mister bottles that you've seen all over Magic Kingdom, everywhere else. They sell at Disney World for $20. I got mine from CVS for $8. You can also get them at Walmart for about $10. This one doesn't have the cool Disney Parks thing, but it has a place where you can attach a lanyard. You fill it with water. You can spray mist out of it. And you can also turn on the little fan. Hear that? So the idea is you spray yourself, and then you turn the fan on, and it helps cool you through evaporative cooling. So I like it all right. Some of the downsides of it is heavy. I put it on this Epcot lanyard that we had and wore it around my neck, and it got really heavy for a lot of the time. But it does provide a really good mist, and that fan feels really good, especially on your face. Another option for misters is you can get these Mister water bottle combinations from a company called O2 Cool. I got mine from Amazon. It was $13. It's got the insulated liner in it. But the other day I went to CVS and I saw one without the insulated liner for $8. Again, CVS is a drugstore here in the States if you're not aware of that. So this is really great because obviously you can carry your water with you and drink it, but you can also use it to spritz yourself. It's got a little bit more robust spritz than the fan did, and it feels pretty good. Again, working through evaporative cooling, but this thing's not going to fan your face for you. So that brings me to something that's not a mister, but it is a fan, and I've seen a fair number of people wearing them. It's these little fans that go around your neck, and you can kind of adjust them up or down closer or further from your neck. Oops, if you don't drop it on the floor. So you can adjust it up nice close to your neck. And so this is the intake, this is the output. You turn it on, and it blows air up onto your neck, which is really great, especially if you combine it with a mist on your neck. It'll cool you off pretty well. It's pretty lightweight, especially compared to the Mr. Fan combo. So your mileage may vary. I got this little fan at Amazon for 10, and I saw it at Walmart the other day for 6. So again, if you're thinking about buying these things, Amazon's great as far as like having stuff before you go, but I can almost guarantee you if you go to a combination of one of the local drugstores and Walmart's near Walt Disney, if you have a chance, if you have a ride, or if you take an Uber there, you're going to be able to find a lot of this stuff for pretty cheap. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is cooling towels. Alright, so now let's talk about cooling towels. This is a hot topic as far as I can tell from looking at all the different discussion boards that I'm part of. Everybody wants to know, do they work? Which one should I get? There are 2 major types that I've found. There's this heavier one made by Frog Togs. It doesn't look like much right now, it's actually kind of crispy, but when you wet it down, it's heavier, kind of heavier duty, stays wet longer, but is also kind of heavier to wear around. Basically what you do is you wet it, you wring it out, stick it around. It does not look like this when you do that. I'll show you what it looks like in a few. You can get that at CVS or Amazon, both have them for sale for $10. I bought it years and years ago at a sports store for $12. It's the Frog Togs Chili Dana is the model that I looked at. There are also lighter weight options, which you probably might want to go for if you're going to carry it around Disney the entire time you're there. There's this wonderful mouse printed one that you can get at the parks themselves. It's about $24. They have them in pink and blue. That's it. All you do for this one is you wet it, wring it out a little bit, take it and snap it, and it activates it, cools it off, and you stick it around your neck. After a while, it'll start losing its ability to cool you. All you do, take it off, snap it again, put it back on, it's cool again. It is actually, honestly, one of the nicest things. I really like it better than the heavier version. We bought this one right whenever we started going to Disney. I think I got it at Animal Kingdom, but they have them at all the Disney parks. So knowing that I like this lighter weight version better than the heavier version that I already owned, I wanted to set out to find one that's similar on Amazon that's cheaper than $24. And so I found this one. It's from Mission, but I got it on Amazon. Same idea, it comes in a variety of colors. This one is Danger Yellow, you can't miss me. And I got this one on Amazon for $15. You can get something really similar at Walmart for about $13, so you're not saving that much money at Walmart. Works exactly the same as the Disney one. So you run it underwater, wring it out, snap it, put it around your neck. Everything is beautiful until it runs out, and then you snap it again. All 3 of these have lasted me all day with just one rehydration of it. So unless you really want cold water on it, which I also recommend, you don't really have to re-wet them too often, even on the super hot days. So definitely highly recommend the lighter weight cooling towels. It's also nice because you can ball them up if you don't want it, stick it in your pocket. A whole lot easier than dealing with this mess. So once you wet down the Chili Dana, it actually looks like this. It's a good size. I'll model it real quick. Kind of take it and you tie it around your neck like this. It's all that nice back neck. Or you can put it a little babushka style if you're really warm and get your ears with it too. If you really love your dog, you won't do this to them, but I'm about to do this to Rue. Rue, come model for me, sweetheart. Just take it, tie it. There you go. It won't work as well on him because he doesn't sweat, but there you go. That's the Chili Dana. Excuse you. Come back with that. So of course you want to make sure that you stay hydrated. I know I talked about this in the last video, but you have a couple options. Obviously you can bring your own water bottle to the park, like this Mr. water bottle, or even just, like a regular water bottle. You bought a flat of water off of Amazon, had it delivered to your hotel room. That's great. You have to carry it around. That's the downside, is you have to carry it around, but you can refill it for free. There are different water fountains that you can refill at. We found one in Animal Kingdom that was right next to Pizza Safari, I believe, where it's attached to a regular building, and it was actually really super cold water. It was wonderful. We've also found some that are just freestanding near Jungle Cruise that the water was hot as it was outside. So buyer beware. You can also buy water at the parks. It's $3 per bottle, unless you have a pass holder discount, then it's $2 a bottle if you buy it from one of the stores that you actually walk into instead of a kiosk. So it's kind of making a decision between convenience and frugality. Like, do you want to save money, or do you want to just not be having to deal with walking around with this all day? You can also get cold water at restaurants, like I mentioned in the last video. You can go up to any of the restaurants and ask for a cup of ice water and they'll give it to you free. So there's that also, but I don't go into restaurants frequently enough other than with meals, so I make sure that I buy a water bottle whenever I get there. I just don't want to be bothered with carrying that around for the most part, unless I really want the Mister option on this bottle. You can also think about the other stuff that you're wearing, like obviously you can wear the hat. You can also wear lightweight clothes. So this shirt's kind of a tech knit shirt that I got from Target that is well ventilated all the way around, kind of like an Under Armour shirt, only a little bit cheaper. This was about $15. You've seen me wear it in some of my videos. Or you can wear something lighter weight, like these Hawaiian shirts that I've been wearing recently for the same reason. Anything that you can do to cut down on heat trapping layers is what you want to do. I also tend to wear swim shorts. Gosh, I'm just out of it. Stop. So you also want to think about what you're wearing whenever you go, aside from the hat. So I typically wear, if it's a really hot day, I have these tech knit shirts that I got from Target for about $15 a piece. They're well ventilated. They're kind of like Under Armour shirts, that kind of idea. As long as you're making sure you're getting the heat gear type, you'll be okay. It'll help be more ventilated. It'll also dry out easier so it won't get bogged down with sweat like a cotton t-shirt will. If I don't wear those, then I typically wear something lightweight, like this Hawaiian shirt that I'm wearing right now. Again, not getting bogged down with sweat is a very good thing. I also tend to wear swim shorts whenever I go to the parks, mostly because I always want to ride at least one water ride, but the other thing is they dry out quickly, they're pretty well ventilated, and they're lightweight. Shoe-wise, you might think that you want to wear sandals. Don't wear sandals if you can help it, unless you have the kind that fit really well. They're like hiking sandals, like Tevas or Chacos, something like that. And be sure that they don't rub blisters on you. I almost always wear tennis shoes whenever I go. I just don't want to deal with the blister aspect, and we do a lot of walking every time we go. So keep all of that stuff in mind. Make sure you wear your sunglasses, and I'm going to give you some personal recommendations of what I find useful and what I actually take to the parks now that I've given you kind of a rundown of everything that I tested. Alright, so now that I've talked about all the different options that I tested, I got to tell you what were really the winners for me, what I wear regularly or take to the parks regularly with me. First thing is I'm never caught without a hat. Usually though, I go with the mesh ball cap and some sunscreen, because I make sure that I schedule indoor rides whenever it's really, really hot. And I don't have to worry about this thing blowing off and having to store it while I'm riding Big Thunder Mountain or something like that. I also really recommend these lightweight cooling towels. The Mickey one's awesome. This one is just as awesome for $10 less, and in different colors other than blue and pink. But if you want the cooling towel as a souvenir, it's actually a really useful souvenir that you could buy your first day at the park. Finally, I really gotta say, I don't carry a bag at the park, but I'll carry this thing around all day. Not necessarily because I can drink out of it, but because I can spray myself with it too. So I'll spray myself down before we go on rides, especially if it's a faster paced ride, again, like Big Thunder Mountain, or even something like Astro Orbiters, anything where I'm going to be moving and there's going to be a breeze. The best part about carrying this around like this is it reminds me to drink my water too. So as long as I have it, I'll keep drinking my water. So with that, I'm going to leave you for today. I really appreciate you watching all the way through the previous Cool Tips video and now this cool gear video. I hope you stay cool this summer at Walt Disney, and have a great, big, beautiful today.